Good morning, everybody. 8:20 on July 22nd, over here on a Sunday to get some Raptor Liner on the bottom of the car here. So that's the intention today. So I scuffed it all up the last time I was here. I'm going to hit some spots again. I can see some shininess here, get everything cleaned up. I also found that I had missed some spots on the inside. If you can see that, it's pretty obvious. Not too bad down here, but over here, some pretty bad spots that I missed. So I am going to mix up some primer. I'm going to use a paintbrush to get inside the wheel wells, especially on this side here. You can kind of see the shininess under there. Not so bad on this side. But get that mixed up, get that painted, shoot the inside here, get 2 coats of that on there, and then cut the stuff down, and then put the entire coat on the bottom here. Wait my 2 to 4 hours, more like 2. And then we'll mix up some Raptor Liner and get that on there. So lots of wax and grease removal cleaning to do, some scuffing up to do yet, and I'm moving along. But hopefully I'll get all that stuff done today, and we'll see how it goes. All right, final cleaning, all done. Got everything taped up and masked off, except for the as you can see, the transmission tunnel there, because I need to get that spot underneath the dash. So now I've got the paint mix. It's been inducing for, I don't know, 45 minutes or so, more than enough time. I'm going to hit the spots that I've missed, and then go with taping everything, the rest of the stuff off. I want to tape absolutely everything off here because of this stuff is going to, I don't want, you know, Raptor Liner on my rear valance here. So get everything taped off real well, you know, getting ready to go for the cut down or reduced epoxy primer to act as a sealer. So moving along. And I'm going to go through how I mix up the Raptor Liner. It is tintable. How I'm going to go through all that because it's a little, it's going to be a little different because of the not going to be using the shoots gun or the shuts gun that comes with the kit, the Raptor Liner kit, but I'm going to be using one of the famous purple guns from Harbor Freight. The problem with this is it's only a 1.4 millimeter tip. Raptor Liner recommends a 1.6 to a 2 millimeter tip. I can't get the tip off. They don't make wrenches for it, and you can't get new tips. So what I'm going to do here is just drill out the tip to about 2 millimeters. It's a 5/64 inch drill bit on a drill press here, obviously, to keep it as level as I can get it. I'm not too concerned with this because if you look at the shoots gun, it looks like you're shooting this stuff out of a fire hose. So I'm not real concerned that this hole is going to be perfect or even 2 millimeters or anything like that. But the point of this is I want a finer texture than the shoots gun will give me. At least I think I do. So we'll figure that out when I take my couple test runs. But I just have it set up in the drill press here. I'm going to drill out the hole a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to clean up that gun real well. One limitation that I have here is I only have a 20-ounce supply of this. The Raptor Liner comes in these 1-liter bottles that you have to mix and everything like that. So I'm going to have to mix by weight and then apply, and I'll go through that when I get to that point. So I'm going to use the drill press here and just drill that down. Pretty straightforward. Again, not too concerned, and then continue on. All right, about 11:15 in preparation for putting down the epoxy sealer. I have to change the paint tip, I'm pretty sure, on the gun. Got to go a little bit smaller because it's going to be thinned down. I got to double check that. But the tent's obviously set up here. I've got everything masked off. Again, I'm not incredibly concerned with the overspray because everything on that's going to get oversprayed on this is just going to get rehashed and painted anyway. I am going to, I forgot to do that, I am going to take care of the emergency brake thing here and tape that off quite a bit. I'm just concerned that I don't exactly remember how that all goes together, and I don't want to get Raptor Liner in there and then screw up getting the you know, being able to get it to fit and having to chip stuff off and everything like that. So I'm going to put a thread protection in there, an earplug in there for that thread, and then after the epoxy's done, I'm going to tape that off. I do want to get another layer of epoxy on it. I also have the spring cover there that I got to get in here, so don't forget about that and get that painted. I'm just going to probably lay this right here. Hopefully that can support the weight of that. Lay that guy right there. Otherwise, I'll have to come up with something else. So I'm going to get some paint sprayed down here in a little bit. Get the gun all ready to go, and then start my 2-hour clock in the preparation for the Raptor Liner. About 12 o'clock. Paint's been drying for about 15 minutes. Went on pretty well. Happy with the way that it went. So again, this is a seal coat. So if you can kind of tell, I'm not sure, you can still see some scratches and stuff in that. And I know I didn't miss that spot because I was pretty methodical with the way that I went, but maybe it went on a little light there. But again, it's a sealing coat. It's not necessarily meant to fill in all the scratches and everything because it's reduced. And I'm going to put Raptor Liner over it here in a little bit. So I am in my holding pattern now for a couple hours. Unfortunately, I didn't really plan too far ahead, so I'm going to probably be a little bored for a while. But that's I can't really do a whole lot in here, and I don't want the paint to get messed up, it being wet. So I might just chill out, clean some stuff up if I can, whatever. But now I'm in the holding pattern, and at about a half an hour to go, I'll start looking at mixing up the Raptor Liner and figure out that plan. All right, so I've got tintable Raptor Liner here. On the left is the hardener. The middle one is the liner itself, and on the right is my tint. Now that is a base coat clear coat, the base coat of a base coat clear coat system. It's a medium red from a company called Southern Polyurethanes. It's where I've gotten all my paint from. You can see all of it over there. What I've got here is a data sheet that U-Paul puts out on how to mix this stuff. I am going to use an HVLP gun that I modified to make it a 2mm one. I talked about that earlier. So that guy's ready to go. It's got a 20-ounce cup on it. So the trick here is you've got an hour for the Raptor Liner to use it. It takes about an hour before the pot life is up. So, and it's an hour in between coats. So unfortunately, because those two times are about the same, if you mix too much, you could end up wasting it. So I've got 4 liters here. I'm not really concerned about wasting it because the car is relatively small. But I'm going to mix 500 milliliters, which are going to give me enough to fit in that 20-ounce cup. So that's going to equate to about 420 grams of the coating, about 121 grams of the hardener, and then 54 grams of the tint, and that's going for a full 10%, which is the maximum that you can do. I can also reduce this stuff. I'm going to see how thin it is and see whether or not I think I need to reduce it. I may bring this in. I've got a test panel set up in the booth already there to allow me to test the texture. So I may not thin it and just see what it's like, and then if I have to go in and thin it, I'll transfer it over and do that. So we'll see how that goes. I got about another hour here to wait before I'm ready to be able to paint over top of my epoxy primer that I put on. Put a sealing coat on here just as a nice solid base. And like I said, about another hour here, I'll be ready to mix up. There's my my shooting board there. And I'll be hopefully ready to shoot some Raptor Liner and turn the bottom of the car red. Alright, it's been about 2 hours, just shy of 2 hours. So now I'm going to mix the Raptor Liner up. And like I said, I'm going to make a 500 milliliter shot of this stuff. You have about a 60-minute pot life and 60 minutes in between coats. So to get 500 milliliters, which will be a little bit less than 20 ounces, which is what the cup size is in my gun, 420 grams of the liner itself, 121 grams of the hardener, and then 54 grams maximum of the tint, and I'm just going to go max with the tint. Then after I do that, I'm going to mix that all up. I'm going to get it in the cup. I'm going to take it into the spray booth, and I'm going to test it and see what I think the texture looks like. I'm supposed to run it about 29 pounds with greater than 6 inches away from the surface. That's all it really says, greater than 6 inches. That's with an HVLP gun. And again, I'm using the HVLP gun because I want something a little bit smoother, because I'm going on a car here underneath. I don't want a truck liner look to it. Not that you're really going to see a whole lot of this, but I would like something smoother. So I got a Harbor Freight purple gun and modified it to a 2mm tip by using a drill bit just to drill it out. And I don't want to sacrifice my halfway decent DeVilbiss finish line gun just in case this stuff, you know, doesn't clean up right or something like that. I'd rather not have a quality gun take the pain of that. So I got my scale here. Turn that puppy off and zero it out with the canister on top so that the canister doesn't get weighed, the cup doesn't get weighed. Now this Raptor Liner is pretty thick, so I'm not sure how easily it's going to be able to pour here. Another thing I'll say before I get started, I am going to wear a full paint suit. I've got an organic vapor mask that I'm going to wear when I get in there, something to cover most of my face, safety glasses, and something to cover my head. I got a hood on this thing, and I'm also going to wear like a little hoodie or a little skull cap kind of thing. So this does have some chemicals in it. Can't remember the name of the chemical, isocyanate something or other, bad stuff. So please, when you do this, take whatever safety precautions that you need to take. If you watch any videos online by U-Paul, they go through all that stuff too, but I definitely got full safety gear here just to, I enjoy restoring the car, but it's not worth my health, obviously. All right, so 420 grams of the Raptor Liner here. I'm going to mix it up a little bit just to kind of try and loosen it. Doesn't feel like it's too thick. Oh yeah, it's pouring. All right, got lucky. Exactly 420, and there's probably maybe a quarter of the bottle left. Just to give you an idea there. All right, now 121 grams of the hardener. Mix that real quick just in case it needs to be. This has got a nice little pullable spout. You kind of put the cap on and you can pop this spout out. I really like that. That's a nice touch. Alright, so 420 plus 121 obviously is 541. Higher math. Alright, a little spillage there. Everything nice and clean. Alright, now my top coat. And I'll stir this stuff up first before I start dishing it out. Nice and beautiful red there. Only 54 grams of this. And I've got a little, like your little medicine thing that you get for like children's Tylenol or something. I'm going to use that and just kind of dip it in there. Because I don't want to pour it. Alright, so 541. I started at 542. I got 2 grams by striking it off the stick there. So I need 52 grams. 52 grams will bring me to 595 or so. Alright, 52 grams. Now the instructions say when you shake, you're supposed to shake for 2 minutes. Since this isn't as vigorous as that, I'm going to go a little bit longer. So based on how thin it is, or how thick it is I should say, I am going to reduce it. You're allowed to reduce up to 10%, so that's another 54 grams. I'm probably going to go about 5%. So let me get the stuff out, we'll do that. Alright, all mixed up. Going to put it in the cup, go in and shoot. Alright, so I got the camera in a plastic bag here, so the image is probably not that great. But I'm going to fill the cup up here in the gun and get in here and start doing this. that's awesome. Look at that. Raptor liner applied, tinted red. Not too difficult. The HVLP gun does not go on heavy. You got to get pretty close. I was probably 3 or 4 inches away while applying it. I don't know if you could see that. There wasn't a whole lot of overspray in here. It wasn't dusty or cloudy, whatever you want to call it, like it is painting, you know, thinner stuff. Actually, I missed a spot right there. I'll go grab that real quick. But 1 coat, I think, is going to do it. There's a couple spots that I need to come back to real quick, but I'll go grab. I just unplugged the gun, so I'm well within my hour window. But very easy to go on. Very happy the way that it went. Very happy with the texture. Again, modifying that purple gun to 2 millimeters. Happy with the texture that went on there. But I got to get this tape off of here real quick so that it doesn't start to damage the stuff. I got about 15 or 20 minutes. So I want to get those couple spots that I missed and then get this tape off. About 3:30, done for the day. 1 coat of Raptor liner on there. And then kind of went through and got all my spots that I missed and everything like that, and kind of gave it a coat and a half, I guess you could say. Got all the tape out of there. Everything is off, except for that guy right there. Got to get that. Very, very happy with the way that it went down. Very, very happy with the way that it looks, and very happy with the way that it applied. So, yeah, that's it for the underneath. As far as I'm concerned, I don't even want to ever really see this again, but I will. So now the object is going to be to get the car flipped over and start on the body work in earnest. So that's for the next visit sometime in the middle of the week. Otherwise, I hope you had a good weekend, and I hope you have a good rest of your weekend. This was a very successful day, so I'm happy that it got done. Another milestone. So I will see you guys sometime next week. Until then, thanks for liking, thanks for sharing, and of course, thanks for subscribing. About 820 or so. So it's the last couple weeks have been really good. Pounding out the videos. The engine rebuild videos are probably going to end abruptly because the last couple shots of video were just horrible and really coherent. So that may be a futile effort there, but we'll see if I can do anything. But otherwise, like I said, have a good rest of your weekend. Thanks again. Cheers.